right, and we're gonna start this episode by saying one of the great ones, like they mentioned. This is dedicated to everybody that's been down since day one. Welcome to the Tip Tips Podcast. You know who you are. We're back again with another brand new episode. Of course, I'm here with my boy, Virtual Studio, as always. And I got my boy, the White Rhino, right here, and we're gonna text tips. You know, I'm gonna crack open this 40. It's not really a 40. I'm just kidding. It's a rock star, but
16 ounces.
Yeah, 16 ounces right there. So we're gonna take a little swig.
Oh yeah, let's
go
closer. What do they call it? ASMR?
Yeah.
Bring that in, motherfucker. Turn that mic up.
Those slurping sounds.
Yeah, here we go.
Pause. No, but yeah, man, here we are. How are you today, brother? It is it is Saturday today, but this will release it's a Friday. But how are you today?
Fantastic. Yeah,
you sound better too.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you know, I've been doing a lot of research on how to mitigate the jab.
Yeah,
and a lot of people just say just take shit tons of vitamin C, and it'll actually counter all the stuff in the jabs. I've just been loading up on vitamin C, just getting back to my normal. Because I want all that poison out of me. You know.
Fair enough. No, I mean, shit. If it works, it works, right? I mean, do a lot of people is it known that a lot of people do that where they fucking just go balls to the wall on vitamin C?
Well, vitamin C has just, always been known to boost your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
But within the inner circles that I like to foray, a lot of them talk about, me. I mean, I've been mostly anti-authoritarian. I don't think any government should force anybody to do this. And now we, thank God, we have courts in the country that are now protecting millions of jobs. And so a lot of people that have been holding the line on this jab are being protected by the Constitution. So I
think a lot of talk about that in general.
For George Washington right here.
Spoil all over. Yeah. I think a lot of talk about the mandates kind of have died down. I feel like everything's kind of, there's a whirlwind of a lot of stuff that we'll definitely touch tips on today. Yeah. But we don't really hear much about it. And it's kind of one of those things where I feel like, nature is healing type deal where we're kind of going back to just the normal, in a sense, I guess, so, I mean, cool. I mean, let's just push forward and fucking hope for the best. And here we go. 2022, 2021's about to wrap up, which is crazy. Yeah. I mean, we're already pretty much halfway through December, which is wild. And, but yeah, man, time is flying and here we come though. The podcast will prevail.
And before we continue, of course, we want to give props where props are due. The clothing on my end, the wardrobe was put together by professionals, and we'll start from the top and we'll work our way to the bottom. So the top is our boy Miguel with mine.
Shout out to Miguel.
So go ahead, go to his page, check him out. Cop yourself either a sweater, he's got you covered. He's got you covered through the winter, summer, whatever, all that stuff. We got the Pit Viper shades,
as you can tell,
by pitviper.com. Check them out. He's legit. Don't get that $30
middle in the mall shit,
Instagram shit that you find on Amazon. Yeah, that's like, that's supporting somebody, but it ain't supporting the real ones.
It ain't the right somebody, right?
And then the last one, props goes out to my wife. She was going hard in the paint this morning at Walmart. So the bottom is by George.
George.
$5.67 at Walmart. So it could be yours.
Hey, you make it look good like it's from fucking Louis Vuitton. I'll tell you that, man. All
right. Yeah. Well, and that's probably something we don't have time to go into, but I'll just throw it in real quick, just as a 30,000 over feet. In San Francisco, bankers have been telling their employees dress down because the crime waves have just been hitting a lot of these cities, and people are like, literally, if they look like they have money, they are taking a Louisville slugger to the head, and they're getting robbed and they're getting attacked. Yeah, and then people are literally following them home, and then they rob them. So bankers are now telling their employees in San Francisco, dress down, just look like you shop at Walmart for a living, right?
Oh,
so
man,
here we are.
There we are, right?
Here we are,
man.
baby.
I mean, Yeah, I keep it simple either way, man. I'm not really about the flash cash type shit. It's more like I honestly come down to what's comfortable for me at this point. You know what I'm saying? I really just want to throw something on. I'm out about my day, go do what I got to do, come home. That's it. Simple, simplicity.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
once I'm balling, like, okay, so I have plenty of zeros behind my name, but if I can throw in one more, I'll probably upgrade my appearance a little bit more.
Yeah, oh shit.
I
Okay.
don't have to be comfortable all the time. As long as I'm turning heads,
Oh shit.
turning heads and dodging feds, I'm good.
Turning heads and dodging feds.
Yeah, I'm dodging
That sounds
feds
like a
right
sick
now.
title for this episode, but it's too long. But you're gonna hit it. I'm gonna capture something you're gonna say along this episode, and I'm gonna use it. That's just kind of how the beauty of it works for people that want to know how we come up with the titles. Literally, what's been said throughout the fucking episode that we film or record or whatever you want to say. That's how the magic happens. So keep going.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
This
That's
is
good,
in
man.
one of those San Francisco homes too. I went ahead and followed a banker home, and this is actually their home. That I'll release them from the duct tape after the recording is over.
Oh, you're at their home. You followed. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say, man, you picked up another what is it? Your fourth or fifth house?
No, I'm just
Shit.
borrowing it for until I hit stop. Then
It's your Christmas vacation home. You're probably like in fucking Colorado Aspens. Is it Aspens? Is it Colorado or something like that? Isn't it?
Yeah, Aspen.
Oh, okay. You're like you got a fucking big ass house over there. Cash money.
Yeah, you might hear them screaming, and but they have the sock and the thing with the. Hey, would you shut up? All right, keep going.
We'll continue. All right. Fair enough. Oh, so one thing I do want to, it was adorable watching it, and it just reminded me of I'll say what it was. You posted up a video of your little girl doing like a solo at her concert, and I got flashbacks of when I used to go do my concerts and all that. Yeah. And I swear it's like, nervous as fuck. I remember as a kid, like having like I wouldn't be able to sing because I was so like everybody was watching me, and I could feel just like nervousness, like I was sweating, and I'm like, yeah. I swear when I watched that video, it made me remind me of that. I kind of got like, like I started getting flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, but dude, she was so adorable singing her song and all that. So, man, shout out to your little girl, man, for pulling through with that like a champ.
She did good.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
That was cool. Oh yeah, I think it's a swig of the fucking mixed vodka and Rockstar. Sorry. Oh man, trying to stay warm over here. But yeah, so
I'll keep you warm, Daddy.
So we have a long, not I want to say long list. But we have a few things on the agenda today, of course, what we like to call the "What the Fuck" segment, where we kind of just deep dive into just the most randomest topics that happen along through the days, weeks, whatever you want to call it, and discuss it here on the Tip Picture Podcast. And that way, we can also just build off of that and just create a creative conversation off of that. And one of the ones I do want to bring up first and foremost, though, you said you wanted to save it. Well, you said originally you wanted to do it on the past previous episode. We should check that out now.
Okay.
Wherever you stream your favorite podcast, which is one of us, hopefully. It's an article about a deceased gentleman, which his homies decided to dig him out, slap him on the motorcycle, and give him one last ride around town. Now,
as they should.
And they say the craziest thing about this was like, you sent me the article, and I don't know if there was a video tied to it or anything, but you showed pictures of them like literally throwing this dude like on their shoulders, and he's just like slumped over. And I was just, it's almost like people wouldn't laugh about it, but I have that humor where like it's just so fucking funny to me, where they literally drove this dead body around like as like a one time, last time, until you go to heaven or wherever you're gonna go after
one last ride.
But it's like you said that the police officers or the police in general were cool with it. Like they were like, hey man, go do what you gotta do.
You gotta put it in context. Shit. This is not America. This is, I think it was Ecuador. And
shout out Ecuador.
And, so this guy, he's 21 years old, minding his own biz, and he ends up going to a funeral. Like he was attending a funeral, and then I don't know if it was like at the funeral or going home away from the funeral or whatever, but he got popped, and so he was killed. So
drive-by. Oh shit.
It was just on some Ecuadorian shit. I don't know, I don't know what inflation is doing over there, but so he's buried, they had his funeral or whatever. So then the homies, they had their shovels and they dig that ass up, right? And so then they take him out of the coffin, out of the casket, and put him on a motorbike, right? And so there's the driver of the motorbike, and then there's the alive homie, and then they threw the dead homie in between the driver and the alive one. And so, and then he just pinned him in and so took him around town for one last drive. And so, people are taking pictures. Of course, everybody knows that this guy's dead, right?
Yeah.
And
shot up and all that.
Got to the media, and they said, hey, we just wanted one last ride, as we should. And so the cops were like, hey, we're not doing anything with it. Doesn't look like any laws were broke. They asked the parents for permission, and the parents were like, yeah, of course. Duh.
As well.
That's what we do here.
Oh my God.
The Ecuadorian last ride, right?
Oh,
and so and so then this is the most, like, this is the, if you don't have homies like this, you don't have homies.
Exactly. That'll be
for
sure.
Put him back in his coffin, right? And then they're getting ready to bury him, but then they pour their liquor out on the coffin, like just one last farewell. Like, dude.
No, fuck all that pouring the liquor on the side of the concrete. You're not a real homie if you don't pour that liquor on top of your homie within the casket. That's
right. I want
shit.
that dirt sticking to the liquid on my oak wood casket,
So I think we made a promise to each other, though, in reference to this story, that if one of us goes before the other, you're gonna slump me over next to you on a fucking episode and do one more last fucking episode for the Tip Tweaks podcast.
Yeah,
as one more last hurrah.
Yeah, we'll get a voiceover, right? But one of us will be just slumped dead. It'll be obvious that we're just dead. And and it's just gonna sound like a weird conversation, but like I'm hoping that, if it's me that dies, I can get someone to like do the movements, and then I can have someone else next to me to like do my voice, so that it's not so it doesn't make your job hard.
Right.
Talking to
yourself. It'll be like the real thing for sure. It'll be just like what we're doing right now.
Right. Yeah. Christian, I will be my voiceover.
Oh man. We'll have him in here. That'll be even more entertaining for sure, man, for the people. Jesus. So
he'll say the craziest things too.
Oh, definitely.
He'll I'll be on my way to heaven, and then he'll just say some stupid shit. And then it'll just be a U-turn right to hell. I'll be just like kicking it with ACDC.
Oh man. That is a wild story. When you sent it to me, it's just funny to me because you obviously don't hear that happening. Obviously, you lay someone to rest and that's it. Case closed, literally. Yeah. But this one, it's like they take it an extra mile where they actually want to do something good for their friend. You know what I'm saying? So in all fairness, I mean, more of the story, if you don't got homies like that, you ain't got homies. Period. Right. To me, that's just how I looked at it. I look at it. So I don't know. That's pretty much how I see it. And I'm just thinking,
the dude got shot leaving a funeral. Weren't they afraid of the same thing?
Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna say,
they were probably had their body shield ready. Like, hey, just ready. Throw him out, let him catch some more.
Just in case if that were to happen, we got a body shield behind. Yeah. Oh fuck, that is wild. That one we definitely wanted to save. I mean, we kind of talked about it, but I definitely wanted to discuss this on this episode because I just thought it was just the most, like I said, you don't hear about that shit, but hey, I guess how they do things in Ecuador, cool.
Yes,
respect, different approach to it. So hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So next thing on the list, right? This one's a crazy one. This one is, it almost makes you wonder why, this is being created to begin with, but at the same time, it's also going to be kind of like a lesson. No, not want to say a lesson learned, but more for people down the road as us as a civilization, as we either, upgrade, or we get better as a civilization or as people in general, or
more advanced.
We advance. Exactly. So, and this one's called Earth is getting a black box to record the collapse of the civilization. And
what is a black box, by the way?
So the black box, I mean, from what I know, again, I'll try to describe it from what I know. The only time I've heard that term was when on the airplanes, when obviously they crash or whatever, they try to find the black box, meaning it captures the last certain amount of minutes of audio until,
it's the only piece of technology, or it's the only piece of hardware that will withstand the worst of the worst, right?
Yeah.
So when the people are dead and the plane is destroyed, there's the one piece of hardware they can go to that they can say, okay, this thing is built to be indestructible,
Yeah,
to where we can, listen to it for evidence of what happened,
right?
and all that jazz. So the Earth having its own black box, that's the theory behind that.
Yeah. So a little, what is a summary on this? What it says below. So an indestructible black box will be built upon a granite plant in Tasmania, Australia, in early 2022. According to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, its mission will be to record every step we take toward climate catastrophic events, providing a record for future civilizations to understand what caused our downfall. So in Australia, I guess they're just getting ready to say, man, you guys fucked up, and now they're gonna find out on why we done what we done to, I guess, make our end. I don't know.
It's almost crazy. Like our version, our civilization's version of Atlantis, right? Atlantis was supposed to be this underground, now underground, but perfect city or whatever, and it was supposed to be just whatever, but they didn't have the technology to capture all that, right?
So it's very, I don't know, man. It kind of makes you raise an eyebrow, like, why would this be kind of like a planned thing to do, or why would this be an idea to begin with? I mean, I can see on the benefits on why, but all I know is they better stick an episode of the This Podcast on there, because we're talking about this, which, hopefully this has some kind of like, part of history, I guess you could say, right? I don't know.
What I love about it the most is the fact that, these scientists, the top brainiacs, the people that have, IQs pushing anything, yours and mine combined, right? And instead of using those resources to actually help world hunger and poverty and all that, they're like, hey, we just want to actually capture it. Instead of building the farm and everything that it would take to like feed civilization and help humanity, they were like, no, we just want to make a record, a Sony record player, we just want to hear it. We want to hear
everybody fucking struggle and fucking just the last near-death minutes of everybody fucking dying. Isn't that fucking wild to think about?
How morbid those fucking! I think scientists are some of the most morbid people on Earth that I've ever encountered.
Oh, isn't that? Do you really believe? We'll go on a little side note wave here. When Elon Musk says that he wants to sell like a majority of his stocks and actually end world hunger, but he actually asked the actual valid question: how do we do so? If I did this, how will we go about approaching that? Right?
Yeah, but you got to understand. So, okay, let's explore it definitely. But also, Elon Musk is a troll, and he was going to sell his stocks anyway because we're just getting decimated. So he's just taking his profit now, knowing that we're going underwater. Anybody who has any investments right now, you're most likely losing it. Thanks Biden. But so he knew. I mean, of course, he has all the professionals months ago that have been knowing this was going to happen. So he was going to sell anyway, but he just wanted to give it a friendly face, like, hey, while I am selling, and take it from there. With the he was asking the world forum or whatever. Hey, how much is it going to cost to feed the world, the hungry?
Damn, I wonder what that number would be like.
I think it was like 6 billion is what it said.
Oh, really? Shit.
I think that was the figure they came out with. But he's like, okay, well, show me how this works. Let's do it.
How much is the stocks worth if you were to sell all of them?
That I don't know. I don't know, but it's more than that.
Okay.
The fuck is loaded.
Yeah, no, it seems like he does have money. Fucking Elon Musk. Do you see that sweet haircut he's rocking? It's like it's like all bald to the side and he just slick back. Hey man, he just wants to be different, man.
Well, it's just I don't mind the haircut. Like that haircut would look really good on a skinny Latino. Right?
Okay.
But a middle-aged, overweight white dude. Nah, man. And with the leather jacket to boot, and the little black handkerchief that he's always wearing. Like, you are not punk. You are not. Stop. Just stop.
Leave that to what's his name? What's that? What's the fucking guy's name that plays Jack Sparrow? He can pull that shit off.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. He's got a crazy swag. He like puts, and if like this dude could go into a fucking Goodwill and make a fucking like a crazy sick outfit. Like, damn, he just makes it work. So I can see him pulling off, but Elon Musk, I don't know, man. He's cool with just like the slick back hair, whatever.
I think it's his whatever his mental illness was, what he was talking about on SNL. You know, like the whole world was supposed to feel sorry for him, but I'm like, ugh.
Who was it? Who was it? Who's it that?
Elon Musk said he had some sort of like Asperger's or some sort of thing that made him like socially awkward, to where he's just like, you know, socially awkward, and it's because of his brain. And but I just think he, you know, the guy's overly intelligent, so
super
smart.
He's
not hurting. So you know, when you hit a certain point, we are allowed as a society to not feel sorry for your ass. So I don't feel sorry for you. You know, I might feel sorry for someone poor with Asperger's that has, you know, real problems socializing and, you know, working, you know, trying to get their message across at work, and nobody understand them because they're like thinking of things 20 steps ahead. And here we are, we're just like basically apes to them. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. And they're just like geniuses, just like, oh my God, why? And then because there's more apes than his advanced thinking, we're the ones that get to gang up on him.
I did not know he had that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's Asperger's, but it is something. Yeah,
it's something.
Talked about it on SNL.
Interesting. Well, man, I mean, you're living life good. So, like my boy said, I don't think it's kind of hard for us, I guess, to really feel bad. So, I mean, hey, man, just enjoy your fucking fruits of your labor and get your fruits of your labor and just fucking push on.
You know right, yeah. Feed those hungry kids.
Hungry kids. All right. Let's move on to speaking of Elon Musk, this is good. This is a perfect segue into our next topic, right? So let's cruise on into this. So we talked about Neurolink a lot of times here on the Tiptix podcast, and you know, it's a lot closer than when we think, actually. So when I saw this is literally right around the corner. When I say right around the corner, we're talking about next year in 2022. Elon Musk said that Neuralink hopes to start implanting its brain chips in humans in 2022.
So you got to take that with a grain of salt. Every deadline that Elon Musk has set has always been off by 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So it could be 2024.
Okay.
But the fact is, it will happen. So what's happening, Eddie? What is happening?
I mean, the thing, it's really like, why would you? I mean, okay, again, it depends on the certain individual.
What are they doing?
That would want to get this? You know, do they want to control your mind? We don't know that. Do they want to have that ability to be able to like pretty much read what you're thinking? I'm assuming this thing could fucking possibly do that. I would assume so. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that I could go off and ramble about, but
so basically with Neuralink, they're stuck at this point, right? Where they've successfully implanted this device in a monkey's brain. And they said that, okay, you know, everything looks good, everything's checking out, but in order to fully know how well this is working, now we need to go to humans, because it's very hard to have conversations with monkeys. And so what Neuralink is saying is that they have actually more stringent guidelines with this stuff than the FDA does. And you know, you would think that would be the case, because when has the FDA ever been, you know, approached about, hey, we would like to put this device in your brain, you know, whatever. So, but the idea, I guess, is just like someone who's had brain damage, they want to figure out if they can repair this damage somehow, some way. Now, of course, that's just the entry, right? That's the entry model. We know that, you know, like the first car, the Model T Ford, you know, that was just a car that got you from, you know, you'd hand crank it, right? And it would you could leave your horses home instead of, you know, so you had all the horsepower now in your car. And so you could drive, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about all the stuff you had to worry about with horses. So now, but look at how far cars have advanced. They
Definitely.
can literally drive themselves now. You know,
park themselves too
with Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
They can do all that, right? So what is Neuralink, or what is this technology, this brain implantable implantable technology going to do to us,
good.
right? I mean, basically there's going to be a day where you and I can sit there and have a conversation, if we have these devices in there, without even saying one word. We're just gonna like
just stare at each other, just like
yeah.
They just fucking talk within our minds.
And then, you know, when I crack it, or when you crack a joke, I'm like, you'll see me react, right? My face. I'll laugh in silence too.
It'll be so weird. That's the thing, man. Like I think it'll steer away. I mean, imagine. Let's imagine this, right? Having a podcast where we just Neuralinked in, and it's like the audience, our lovely audience, are aiming to be hear what we're saying.
Yeah.
Stupid. Why?
Or
I don't get it. I don't get it. But for other stuff, like you were saying, though, what if somebody has like really a lot of brain damage and they really can't function, like talk or anything like that? And, you know, maybe this could be the only possible way for them to communicate with a computer to, you know, relay that message with whatever, you know, he or her or whatever is saying, you know? So I can see it beneficial for that reason. But other than that, I don't want something in my brain. I wouldn't fuck with it personally, but I mean, that's just me though. And also what he said too before, how you're able to, like, I guess a person with that implanted in their head, they'll be able to use their cell phone so fucking quick or whatever piece of technology, like instantly.
Yeah.
That's the wild part.
And I think that it is, you are going to see a generation. There's going to be a generation that resist, you know, there's going to be a lot of people, or not a whole generation, but there's going to be a lot of people in that generation that resist this as much as they can. But I'm telling you, once they can prove that, you know, how, if they can prove it to the government that it's effective and that it's just whatever. I mean, you know, you look at these people that serve in the military and they give them a concoction of shots, you know, like they give them probably like 50 different shots in boot camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's just like,
I don't know that.
Like, boom, here. Okay, now there's this one, there's this one, there's this one. You know, because you're state property. You're just as much state property as you are if you're a prisoner. Basically the same thing. But and shout out to the people serving our country.
Definitely. Our troops.
You know I didn't mean that, but for those that understand, you know exactly what I'm saying. So
yeah, that's cool. Up on that. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
But if they could prove, like, hey, if you can get your soldiers with these implants, and maybe they're removable, but while they're in service, they are required by law to wear these implants, then it would, you know, they would do away with the phone, they would do away with all the devices, and like, hey, we can literally plug into your brain from Central Command.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, I mean, they would try to fucking make it sound so good to where they're gonna do like say some really good selling points to have this motherfucker implanted in, like you said, but possibly, you know, to our troops, you know, for good reasons, right? It's insane. I don't know,
Just
man.
Wait till China gets it.
Oh my god.
You know.
Oh, don't say that. Dude, yeah, that's a whole new fucking, what is it, can of worms to open, man. But nah, I mean, we're definitely going to follow it through and keep all you lovely folks updated with what's going on with that. So far they're saying 2022, but my boy here is saying that it's too far. It's 2 years far apart from Elon Musk's like plans. So we'll say 2024, you know, if that. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you posted. And you know, by 2024, this is going to be like literally on everybody's in headphones. We're going to be like literally rivaling Joe Rogan at that point, you know. So plenty of time. We'll probably sit down with Elon Musk here, talk about it.
I thought you were going to say it's going to be on everybody's Christmas list. I was like, wait, what?
Should be.
I was going to say, damn, I'll be dead. I wouldn't be surprised too.
Could you imagine? Yeah, Black Friday special.
Neuralink, $199 or $299 without the fucking installation, though.
Right, and then the following Christmas, you already have this thing implanted, and so you're doing literally everything. We don't have computers anymore.
Nothing, it's just all within your brain. Fuck,
insane, dude. Sex would be so weird. Like, Girl, I know you fake it. I can read your mind. I know
I can read your mind.
This is so
Holy
embarrassing.
shit.
I'm going home.
Oh fuck, that would be fucking wild. That would, yeah.
Wives are gonna be like, so this does make me look fat. You told me this whole time it didn't. Now I can read your Neuralink, and it's you're yeah, it does make me look fat.
It would cause a lot of fights, I'll tell you that, man, for sure. Holy fuck.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. So we got another crazy topic here on the agenda. So this is from the New York Post, right? Again, these crazy inventions we come across and what they're actually building and whoever thought of this. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, but I definitely want to read it out and kind of discuss it amongst, with you and see what you think about, and obviously get this out there to see what other people think about and get the conversation going, right? So the New York Post, this is what they say. Controversial suicide pod that kills peacefully gets go ahead in Switzerland.
What is it? What it's like
you get in, does it suffocate you? Does it give you some type of that vaccine that they give the prisoners that are on death row, where they inject you with something and they're supposed to a peaceful pod, or what do they call it? A suicide pod that kills you peacefully.
So they don't say how it does it. Like
it doesn't say how it does it. No,
your homeboy's car is just running the hose. Like, why is there a hose running through my living room and in this machine?
Just wrapping the shit out of the engine.
I've seen the client.
I don't get it. I do not get it. But I know that in Oregon, right, they have it's actually legal there. If you want to go out and take yourself out, you can actually go there, and it's legal. It's legal to do there, right?
Yeah. And the beauty is even if it's illegal, you could still do it and never have to face consequences.
That too. I mean, if you're right, if you're about the right or wrong way, I mean, in Oregon you can do it the correct way, but here it's more of they find you like that. What can we do now? Right?
Yeah, well, you want to press charges?
A little too late for that.
I think we should push dirt. Yeah. I grew up in Montana, and for it was just a very it must have been a depressing time because I knew a lot of criminals. Oh man. A lot of my kids, a lot of my peers were taking the
easy way out, like they say, right?
They were just like, they took those failing grades hard, a little hard.
Yeah. Maybe this is a way for that. I mean, I guess this is gonna be something that, I mean, you can literally just go to these little peaceful fucking suicide pods, step in, and
come on in.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I know. It's probably like one of those things though, where it probably costs a lot of money. I'm assuming. I don't know.
I would think so. Yeah, but to think that this is like a fucking, I don't know, man. I mean, I get it. There is those stories that we hear of, individuals that just, they have their reasons and they follow through with it. But to be able to have the will to just go there and do that, follow through with it 110%.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, I think if it's an emotional decision, you should probably get some counseling. Our society sucks anyway. I mean, our society, you couldn't live in a crazier society than what we're facing right now. So I understand why people just want to give up. But sure. When we're talking about these suicide pods, I don't think they're designed for Americans that are just having a hard time with the social justice warriors and all these crazy lunatics that are running our country and driving people to suicide. That's not what the suicide pod is for. I think what it's designed for, and what people like Dr. Kevorkian were alive for and practicing for, was to for the people that had terminal cancer and that just doctors were trying to keep them alive with these medicines that were just costing an arm and a leg, and they just would have nothing to leave for their family. And then that was the better option than to, hey, I'm gonna die anyway within the span of a few months. Why don't I just do it now at a very cheap price and then leave my family with something, and be able to die with dignity? Because who, by the time you get to that point where the doctors and all them, they're just like raking through your finances and just like looking for anything they can keep, just so they can continue to drive Benzes. And then your friends and your family, the family is left with literally nothing. And here this person has been working their whole life to save up just to leave their family something. And the doctor gets it.
Yeah.
So
it's like, crazy to think about it that way.
Let me die with dignity. Let me give my family something. So I think that's what this pod is for. And I'm really not against it. When, Oregon changed their law with assisted suicide, legalizing it. I felt like, I think that we're getting there. Like, just let us have our choice. Stop, and especially when you do look at the fact is these insurance companies, they do. I mean, they're the ones that benefit. That's why they don't want people to commit suicide. It's because they're the one they lose all that money, that potential money that, no, it shouldn't go to their families. It should come to us.
Yeah, they want to keep on sucking on the teat and just continue draining the fucking milk, dude. That's what it is.
It's just one of the scummiest things about our society. We have a lot of scummy things in our society, but that's one of those things where they prey on the weakest, the people that can't help themselves. And
it's
I
crazy,
hate
man.
it. So
that's insane. I think you're right, though. I think you're right. I think this is more. I think it was wrongfully titled to where it is for those people that are unfortunately facing with something terminally, like, they don't really have that long to live, and they're just put in that position where, they don't want to put their family through that stress, put their family through those medical expenses. At the end of the day, it's, that person's probably just tired of, going through whatever it is, the medication, the treatment, all that. And they just, they got to make that hardest decision ever. And just, it's fucking insane, man. It's sad. It's really sad to think about that. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that we do face in this world. It sucks for anybody that's dealing with that. And just, it's just one of those, the hardest decision ever. I feel like at that point, like one of the hardest decisions ever. So,
definitely. And the cleanup is way easier. Like literally lifting him out, like,
all right, let's go, dude. But yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, it's just insane that I guess when we hear about that stuff being kind of like an idea where they're actually doing this in Switzerland, and obviously it's not here, but it's like once we hear about it being done here, it's like fuck, it's gonna be a trip, dude. So it's insane.
Yeah. Don't get them on the black market, because like I said, we were like, what? Where are all the 20-something-year-olds?
Jesus Christ.
They were all living at home with their parents. And they were all unemployed, and they were getting canceled left and right on Twitter. And now they're just nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, definitely, dude, definitely. But yeah, it's crazy that was even like I said, when I saw that, I don't know, it really kind of threw me out for a fucking wait, what? What's this thing called?
I just love it. But I mean, that's the gift and the curse of media, right? Because media could put it in context and be like, hey, listen, this is the reality that we're facing, right? But instead they're like, no, we want to sell some fucking some articles, we want to sell some magazines. So let's just sensationalize it as much as we can. Put some bright lights on it, put Travis Scott near it, a Travis Scott article near it, so we can associate the two. And here we go. We just sold 50,000 copies on something that if we would have just kept everything in context, we maybe would have sold 200.
Yeah. No, man, hey, it's gonna sell.
Media, baby.
They're gonna sell if we put some fucking crazy title on it, run with it, and here you go. Let feed it to the people. So it worked. That's what we're talking about. It. See, so it worked. There you go.
Got me.
Got us, right? Okay. So the next article, right, or the next topic, I guess we should say, this one was fucking wild. The way this thing ended, and just how from beginning to end. But what's crazy, Dave Chappelle called this out, I think in his special. I don't remember which one. But he was talking about Jesse Smollett. I think that's his name, right? Jesse Smollett?
Juicy? He called him Juicy. Justice for Juicy.
Really? Juicy?
Juicy Smollett. Yeah,
okay, Juicy Smollett. Sorry for the fucking
But Jesse Smollett is the name.
Okay. But what's crazy is that this, so Dave Chappelle made fun of this. I remember seeing the clip. I think I saw it within the interwebs on Twitter or on Instagram, one of those two, whatever. But the title of this says, Juicy Smollett tells court he had cocaine-filled gay bathhouse escapades with Alex Tacker. So it not only does it get fucking worse, the fact that you have to take this dude that you're doing all this stuff with, fucking involving cocaine and all that, to say that he was an attacker and do all this shit. He put a noose around you and fucking poured bleach or whatever it was. Was it bleach or something like that?
Bleach.
And then
MAGA hats.
You were attacked MAGA hats. Oh man, come on. And it all fucking came down crumbling on him to where they found him guilty. What is it, on 8 counts? Was it 8
5?
counts?
No, 5.
5 or 8. I don't want
5, and then there was a 6th that they found him not guilty on.
Okay, but fuck, either way, so he fucking pretty much openly says that, yeah, I was fucking around with this dude too as well, doing cocaine, and at the end of the fucking article, they say they were like jerking each other off.
Dude, this is like, I mean, I've heard so many different things about this guy. I mean, this guy is like, he's screaming for help. He's crying, begging on his knees for help. And
crazy.
and the liberal media, they enabled this. I mean, this is literally a mental illness. What he is doing is clearly off the charts, insane.
You think so?
And I mean, it's someone who is just begging for attention. And he couldn't, like, he was a shitty actor, right? He played on some stupid show that I've never even heard of.
I know he was an actor, but I just never knew what show he was in. I didn't even know much about the guy until, you know, they started plastering. Like they started saying, like, you know, he was attacked by a couple gentlemen that were wearing these red MAGA hats, blah blah blah. It was racially attacked. He was racially attacked and all this, and it's like, you know, the media is just gonna pump this fucking story as much as they can to have it like all eyes on them. But like little did we know it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, is he made this story so unbelievable.
Yeah.
So unbelievable. I mean, like, okay, let's just say, okay, you and I both don't even know the show that he was on.
I don't even know the show he's on.
The story that he said is that there were 2 MAGA guys, 2 white guys, which he later said pale face, right? But he was clearly saying white. 2 white guys in the heart of Chicago, in the middle of the night, sub-zero temperatures, with MAGA hats on, with bleach and a noose, and they're beating him and saying, "This is MAGA country." Like, you ask anybody in Chicago, they're going to be like, "Ain't no MAGAs here." You're just not going to see that, let alone at 3 a.m, sub-zero temperatures, and saying that they cited the show, like, "Oh yeah, you on your show." Like, this is a show that MAGA people are not going to be watching, let alone most of the country. Like, most of the country doesn't even know the show he was on. So, and even more of the country didn't even know who he was until he did this. And then the media they were foaming at the mouth because they just need stories like this to show how bad and how racist America is, that they were just like, "Oh, finally we got our guy," you know. And it just ends up being a lie. And here's
dude, they were foaming out the mouth for that fucking story. I bet they were fucking their fucking mouth was water, like, "Oh, perfect. We're gonna run with this and we're gonna fucking just light it up." But this is what's interesting though, right? Because I think I did hear when they were talking about this, when this first happened, that he went out to get a salad, mind you. This is a famous actor, right? This is somebody that obviously they know or whatever, that they've recognized from some show.
I wouldn't say he's that famous. Don't give him that much credit.
Okay. So let's say he's just known, right? People would say like, "Oh, that's so and so," right?
He's got some notoriety.
He goes, yeah, there we go. And he said he was hungry, that he was looking for something to eat around that time, middle of the night. He went to a fucking Subway. Now, if you're this dude, right? Like I'm on a show, whatever. You're staying at, you know, Chicago. You wouldn't think that you're gonna get room services. Like, if you want a fucking salad, I'm sure you can order it. You know what I'm saying? Or order whatever. Right. So like that part of the story to me is like, that's a red flag. Who's gonna go at 12 o'clock at night to a fucking Subway for a salad? No way. Right. That's to me where I'm like, mind you,
right? I like Subway, especially after a Coke binge.
Oh yeah,
like, you know, and sex when I'm all coked out, the last thing I'm thinking about is salad.
Right. He's thinking about either some cigarettes, some cigarettes, booze, more cocaine, and the what is that other thing we were talking about on the last previous episode? You were off the
the Prozis.
The Prozis. It's Prozis. There you go. Those 4 things. We're not fucking thinking about salad to the point. That's after the day after, like the next day.
Right.
Maybe, unless you're still wide awake and you fucking go do whatever it is that you got to do. But no, not fucking 12 o'clock night, Subway, salad. No. Fuck no.
And normally I don't normally I would let someone like Jesse Smollett like say, hey, you made your bed, now lie in it, right? Like he's gonna
straight up.
He's facing years. He's facing 20 years.
Oh shit, 20 years. I thought it was like 5 or 8.
It's not, he's not gonna get it. I mean, you know, he might get a little bit of jail time, but his career is over. I mean, he's fucked. He you know, if there was anything he did with that news, it was kill his career. You know, that's what he did. But but the thing that the big issue that I really don't hear anybody talking about is because the media, they're trying to ignore this story now as much as they can, because they knew that they were the ones fanning the flames, so they were culpable with this whole outcome anyway. And this was a guy that clearly needs help, still needs help, and whatever, he may or may not get it, who knows. But here's the biggest issue: he really should have had someone in his corner saying, Jesse, pull him aside, a real friend. Jesse, listen, there is real racism out there. There are really people getting chased, getting beat up for the color of their skin. If you do this, and if you go through this and you lie and you get caught, now any of these other people that are really getting attacked from a racial attack, the people are always going to think about this case. It's the same thing that happens with these women who claim rape, and then they find out later that it's and it's multiple times that it was all a lie. It was just, she was vindictive, she was just trying to get at him and just wanted the money or whatever. So you hear all these things come out. So then the next time you hear of a famous guy who is facing charges, they're like, well, we've heard this song before, and I don't know, you know. So the people are not as willing to go and defend that as much. So I think that's the real thing that's happened here, is that if there is a real attack, say there's a black guy, like, you know, the Ahmaud Arbery guy that was jogging,
that's fucking, you know, crazy.
You get another situation like that where, you know, someone who just literally, I mean, he's just out there being who God made him to be, and then all of a sudden someone comes up and attacks him just for being that color. Like, and then, you know, and then so he goes and tells, you know, people, hey, this is what happened. Like, oh yeah, we heard that one before, Jesse. You know, I mean, that's what happens. And that's the risk that you run. And so it's just, so he should, I mean, he should serve years for this, to let anybody else know, you don't cross this line. This is a line you do not cross. Do not fuck this up for other people who are really in that situation.
I think it's one of those things too, where, you know, this kind of takes a step back instead of going forward, in a sense, you know, where he's kind of fucking it up for like you said, for those people that are actually facing real life shit like this. That's really happening. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was just crazy though, that he flat out just came out saying that he was actually knew these dudes a little too well. You know,
he was just like, what was the article saying? He was masturbating with them. You know,
I'm saying that's what it was saying. I swear, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? Like, how? I mean, I'm sure they were fucking down to do this shit because they were fucking, you know, knowing each other that well. So I mean, and then cocaine. Obviously, they're probably off cocaine. So I mean, that you know, like they say, who was it that said that? Like, cocaine's one hell of a drug. Fucking
Rick James.
Rick James, yeah, the fucking the Russian Rick James, yeah. So.
I'm sure. Is that a thing though? Is it where? Hold on, I got to do my British voice, you know, because the British, they're really, they look at Americans like we're one of the fucking oddest people, set of people in the world. Is that really a thing though? Where you do cocaine and you're masturbating together. Is that what you guys do there?
Oh, did he sound
Is that so?
legitimate? That was perfect, actually. All I gotta say, you got me on that one. Had I not known you and I heard that voice on the fucking phone, I'd be like, wait, are you British? The fuck is that true? Oh shit. No, yeah. I mean, I would think so. I mean, I don't know. I would think it's just like, I mean, when I'm hella on these right here, it feels like I'm on fucking coke. I'm fucking always just active and fucking jittery. You know, just need to do something clean, organized. It's either one of those things I do, clean or organized. Those two things. So
yep.
I don't know. I don't know about fucking going out there attacking somebody with bleach with the fucking noose. I don't know about that. That's something else. I gotta be some fucking what's that shit called? Fentanyl. That's a fentanyl shit right there. I don't know.
Ooh.
You're right. I don't know.
Oh,
but I don't know about that.
Can you bring your MAGA hat? I scored us an ounce.
Oh fuck. Yeah. I don't know. But all in all, juicy. Hey man, like you said, you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it.
Ooh,
you know, small little fucking mattress with a fucking thin ass blanket. Sorry, homie.
Oh man, I wonder. You know, hopefully they can do like talent contests and like acting classes in the prison. Like
they probably have some kind of type of theater shit. You know what I'm saying? So he can continue his career there.
That would be the coolest.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello, I am here.
It's like do the reenactment, like but in a live theatrical release type deal, right? And what happened?
Yeah.
So
we'll call it Chicago.
No,
I was standing outside the subway, 3 a.m. Coke out of my mind.
No, we're looking for a juicy salad. Literally, at Subway,
juiciest.
Fucking wild, fucking wild. All that shit ended. And yeah, I mean that happened. When did it happen? Like last year? Was it last year that it happened?
No, it was like
2 years ago.
I don't know. I remember Trump was in office and.
Oh, don't say it was like 4 years ago. 2 years ago?
No, it was like 2 years, at least 2 years ago.
Damn, dude, time. It trips me out because time flies. Because I knew that was a couple of fucking years back.
Yeah,
but then it just came to this. So I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, but I mean,
it was funny though that the first people that had their suspicions, because like it went all over the media, and there were a lot of people that just took CNN at its word, you know, and MSNBC and all this crazy. You know, and Salon and all those, they were like, oh my God, look what's happening. But like the cops that interviewed him were like instantly like, the fuck? When was the last time you saw a white dude in a red hat?
They're all looking at each other like, is this legit? This is
sub-zero temperature in Chicago.
Fuck, I don't even want to be outside right now. It's fucking cold. Fuck, man.
Don't even let them in.
Right? Yeah, that's fucking right. Like I said, red flags everywhere for that part. Crazy. Fucking crazy. But again, moving on as we proceed to give you what you need, right? Like they say, like Puff Daddy says. So this article states NFT buyer drops a quote $1.23 million to be Snoop Dogg's neighbor in the metaverse neighborhood. So 3 virtual states neighboring Snoop Dogg's game space in the Sandbox have been sold for a collective $1.23 million, with the most expensive space selling for $453,000. Snoop joined the metaverse in September with the launch of Snoop's Mansion, an interactive game which allowed fans to share experiences with each other, attend live performances, and access exclusive NFTs. Oh my God. $1.23 million, dude.
Right. I mean, the guy's probably insane. A nerd, you know.
Dude, or he just loves Snoop Dogg. I mean, fuck. I mean, Snoop's
maybe
OG.
Right, but I couldn't even drop $25,000 on Tupac's ID. You know?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, did I send you that thing where you can own they were actually selling his ID, and then, dude, all I know is ID. Okay, I'm gonna say this right. I don't know if it's for sale right now, but I mark my words. If for whatever reason we end up being this conglomerate, we make this into a fucking actual live show with the fucking camera, lights, camera people, everything, the whole fucking package, and we're making some good money at the end, right? But we enjoy it. I would buy Tupac's fucking BMW, that one, the infamous one that they're actually selling it for, like, I would want to say up to $1 million.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want that, man. Like, man.
I don't know. Then again, it would be haunted. I don't know. Now that I look back at it, I don't know. But what I would want to do, put it in a museum. or something like that. You know, so like hip hop historic museum of just a story to tell. You know,
I would hear, big Tupac fan here. If I were to drop G's or even anything over, I think I would want some things that really highlighted what he did. That was sort of a hard low light, that'd be, I don't know if I could own that car, but like his Hummer, right?
Oh yeah, the fucking
that H1. And I mean, there was a story where he so apparently Tupac was like a really bad driver. Really bad driver. So everybody knew that.
I don't think he had a driver's license too, right? Did he? Or did he?
He did. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, he was just a shitty driver. So
opposite end of the fucking road and everything.
Imagine being a shitty driver and driving a big H1, right? He bought the original Hummer, and and he had it where there was like a CD, right? There was a radio on the outside. So he pulls up, Scarface, the rapper Scarface, pulls up to his apartment, and he gets on the CB, and he's in this, Hummer H1, and he says, his Brad Johnson is Scarface's name.
Yeah.
Well, Brad Johnson, please get out of the apartment with your hands up.
Oh, no shit, really?
He was calling Scarface out of his apartment from his Hummer.
Oh. Not only was he a fucking phenomenal rapper, but he was a fucking jokester. I fucking love it, dude.
So you give me that H1 and I would be doing that same shit all day. We would
pull up to the house. Eduardo Osorio Garcia, can you step out of the perimeter right now, please?
Oh, man. See me in my Krakens jersey with my bandana on.
I fucking love it.
Dude.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yes, and you would do it too. I believe you. I fucking believe you would too. Yeah. Fucking just blaring all eyes on me, fucking full blast and everything, dude. Oh fuck no, but yeah, no. I think for me, if I were at that caliber of having that much money, I definitely would want to donate it to the museum so everybody can see it. Only because, like, the story that it would go from, this car right here was literally like. I think the story behind it, to me, what's crazy, like when you look at that picture, what they took of him and Shook, Shook kind of focused on, the road, and Tupac kind of looking kind of like emotionless.
Yeah.
To know that he, like, if some people say like he knew this was like the last time, like this was like the last moment that you're ever going to see this gentleman alive.
He had so many songs. Man. Yeah. The fact that
crazy,
was the
dude.
last picture of him alive was crazy. I mean,
yeah,
it's so funny because, here you are. We can't even talk about a Snoop Dogg NFT house without going back to Tupac. That was just how big that guy was. But
I think a funny story that just because of the whole Snoop Dogg thing, when we'll touch bases on the actual subject we brought up, just because the NFT world and the metaverse.
Yeah, we'll give Snoop his dues, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, we'll give his dues to Snoop, because definitely Doggy Style was a fucking iconic album. But what's crazy, at his Hall of Fame, I think at his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame introductory speech for Tupac, he was telling a funny story that I guess he's never really told, where they went paragliding, him and Tupac, when I guess Snoop Dogg got acquitted from that murder case that he was facing. And he said that how he gets high and smokes weed with Tupac. He's like, that's got to be the one time that I was the highest motherfucker ever, or at the highest of my life, because they were both paragliding, fucking him and Tupac up in the fucking sky. It was just the way he was saying it was just so fucking hilarious. But I mean, dude, yeah, that was the one time where he said that was the highest that he's ever felt. I'm like,
wow. It's funny because like this guy literally made a whole career being known for smoking weed,
smoking dozier. But it's funny too that he said that the one person he couldn't hang with smoking weed is none other than the fucking the great Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
he said he fucking couldn't keep up. He said nope, I had to fucking tap out.
What's funny though is Willie Nelson, I think he had to stop smoking though.
Oh really?
And at least to what he was, but I think I read an article where he had to stop because I think it was just the lungs couldn't handle it anymore or whatever. But
damn.
Hey, it's funny, Willie Nelson. Damn, dude.
That was hella funny. But no, man, overall, dude, it's insane though how much money they're really dropping on this buying property in the metaverse. It's crazy to think that this was like, I compare this easily to just, we're okay. It's so familiar with gaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
How like you're familiar with Fortnite. Like back in the days when you would spend money on a game, it would only be solely to buy the game, right?
Yes.
Now it's more moving towards where, they have these new skins, new weapons, new characters. You're buying for something virtual. I mean, you don't technically own it, but you do own it. You own that piece where, in the virtual world, it's yours. So kind of move that towards the metaverse and NFTs. That's what we're moving to. And it's one of those things too, where like, it's not as crazy as what it appears when we read it, because we're already used to where, like I said, you're buying stuff on games online to where like you quote unquote own it, but you really don't technically, physically you don't. But dude,
but you do own it. I mean, it's
$1
your
million
ownership
dude.
on the blockchain.
Yeah, like with NFTs, yes, you do, like NFTs in general. But just the idea, well, a little bit before that though, with games and all that, like you really don't though. You know what I'm saying? Like the skins on Fortnite and all that shit. Or even games.
Yes.
Yeah, but now this with NFTs coming into the fucking game, it's a whole different thing. Where you do. I think it's yours.
What I really applaud the I'm in crypto. Hold on. Gotta get adjusted here. Been sitting the same way that for a goddamn hour. You get old and you're just like, man,
you gotta move the hips a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get your spine readjusted.
Do some dick stretching.
Yeah. It's down to my knee. Hold on, let me wiggle a little bit. It's getting numb.
Let me lift that thing off the floor. But anyway, so I really applaud the people in crypto and especially anybody in crypto in general, but these NFTs, they are the visionaries that so many people don't understand. What these people in the NFT world do understand is that, y'all, we are living these next few years are going to be online. We are going to be connected. There's real life is going to exist, but we are going to spend so much of our life in the metaverse. We're just preparing for it now. It's like the Wild West, where the pioneers were the ones that got the big plots of land, and then they were the ones that sold it off when the next wave came in. They were like, oh shit, a gold rush out west, and they're like, yeah, well, we own 200 acres. I could probably sell you 50 acres if you want. And then you get smaller and smaller, whatever. But that's what's happening in the NFT world right now, is in the metaverse, is that people are literally, that there is a world being built right before our eyes.
Yeah, man.
And it's going for top dollar.
Top motherfucking dollar. And what's also crazy when I was watching TV yesterday, I actually saw the fucking first commercial that I've seen was for what is it? Facebook's first, like their VR glasses that's compatible with the metaverse. I'm like,
and dude, it's only a matter of time before you and I are gonna have a pair. It's only a matter of time.
I am fucking down. Only because I definitely would want to do something where the podcast with everybody that will be linked into that. You can watch yours truly up here in like almost like in pretty much in the virtual realm.
Yes,
with the virtual studio. Live show, baby.
And like having, that's the thing.
Dude,
yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, come on in, watch the show, join the conversation with us, right?
Dude, amazing.
And we'll set it up the way that we want it set up, and then we'll have our audience there. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And not, it's just, I look at it in the way of like education too. School is failing our kids on so many levels, and it's not equal, right? You have some schools that are doing really well, so I can say that statement. They're like, oh, I'm very happy with my children's education. But then you go into other parts of the country and they're just like, yeah, we my kids, the school is still passing my kids, and my kids don't even know basic algebra. So I think that the metaverse, you can get that going on and get an education that is literally standard to where any kid from any part of the country or world, for that matter, is now going to have affordable education. And it's right there. It's right there. It's the best of the best, right? It's the best that has to offer. We don't have to settle for underpaid teachers anymore, because you're going to have the best teachers and you're going to pay them, but there's going to be so few of them that they can take this on. So I think that's one area that I think is going to happen. But right now, of course, we're focusing on gaming, but I'm just looking at it, commercial, business meetings are going to be so, imagine having a corporation, and you can have your boardroom, but then literally, your best guy lives in Kentucky, and he does not want to move to Seattle. He's just like, nah, I'm just not, I'm not happy.
I'm good.
There.
I'll stay over here.
The smartest guy that we've had in our company,
Yeah.
Okay, well then throw me in the metaverse and all three on it. Okay, sweet deal, done.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. I actually was reading an article. They were saying that out of when we went through the quarantine, what were like one of the things that they're really, they're trying to implement, like in regards to, like, for example, they were saying that working remotely, they're finding it where it's going to be more of a thing now. With a lot of companies across the board, they're going to do that. It's going to save both ends money, the space they're going to spend, like the money they spend for the space. And they say the productivity for people that actually work remotely is like 3 to 4 times more better than what they would be doing at the office. Yeah. So it's like, oh shit. So, I mean, if it benefits both ends, cool. But now you're talking to the metaverse. Whoo, baby. It's going to get interesting, man.
I don't know if we have enough time to bring this, because I know we've hit our hour, but we're sort of right. We're flirting with it. We're right on the verge of it. But the AI, you sent me or was it I sent you an article, or you sent me whatever? It was AI. Someone had done AI. They did robots. They were trying to program these robots.
Oh, okay. I guess you were talking about.
Did you send it to me, or did I send it to you?
Let's talk. I think I sent it to you.
Okay. Yeah. So what was that?
So it was an article. It was a title to an article, and I was trying to find the fucking full article to see what it really, like, in the detail, what it really consisted of and all that. But the title of this, again, and I haven't read it fully, so I really don't know. I'm just gonna read the title, and we're gonna just roll with the punches on this, right?
Yeah.
AI bot has turned racist. AI robot has turned racist and homophobic after copying humans. So, I mean, dude, what can we say? What is there to say if this thing sees humans and they're like, they get two things: they're racist and homophobic.
Right.
Shit.
And I'm just thinking, they're not just pairing these robots just with white people, right? They're exposing this robot to multiple different, a diverse community.
Yeah.
But even in a diverse community, this robot's still racist as fuck. And he's homophobic to boot.
Is it one of those things where, like, they see those two things and they're like planning a fucking secret plan? We're gonna eliminate these fucking parasites before they do something where they're gonna wipe the whole entire world off. Like, you can only imagine, like, if this robot is really kind of scheming behind closed doors, that they're already seeing two things: they're racist and homophobics.
But I want to know what the parameters are. Like, what are you calling racist? Is it?
Yeah,
I want to know what are the parameters?
Yeah,
that's
like what's that line that's crossing, or what line are they crossing to where it's going to put you on both either or? That's kind of more of
what is he doing that is making these people say that this robot is, I say it's he, I'm assuming it's a he.
Oh, dude, I know, right? See, they're already working you, they're already getting you fucking prepped and ready.
They're programming me. Yeah, they're using the robots to program, so it's just a circle jerk. But
they're circle jerking your mind, dude.
Right. Short circuit. overload. But that used to be the voice of the robot, but not anymore. But anyway, so, like, what is this robot doing that makes the scientist or whoever's researching this robot decide that this robot is racist and homophobic? Is it just something that, hey, this is what the robot is doing, and the robot is like that just studying human behavior, and then just, I don't know. I mean, what's the slant of the scientist is deciding this robot's racist? I don't know.
I would want to know that as well. This will be one of those things where we'll definitely I'll have to dig in and see if I can find an article that really kind of relays the specifics in this and how they come about with, the title for this, because it's one of those things too. Like, how do they decipher that? How do they make, the final, what is it? The final fucking, I guess, judgment call or whatever you want to say, to where that's what they're saying, or how they came about that. That's the thing. That the title is just great right there. The title itself is just like, it gets the wheels turning. Well, how did they determine that? How did they determine this?
And that the reason why they're creating these robots is so they can be judges.
Yeah.
And so that when someone goes to court, they know that there's this unbiased thing, like it has no human intervention whatsoever other than the humans that programmed it. But now there's these robots, so now like, what?
I don't get it. I just don't.
How does a criminal ever feel like he's gonna face a robot judge? Like, no, that motherfucker's racist and he's a bigot.
All I want to say is this, okay, and we'll end it off with this because it's more than the robots. All I know is all this talk about AI, robots, and the metaverse is as close as what we fucking actually think. And I'll tell you this: when I was driving home one day, right? I was driving home, whatever, and a couple blocks away, I see these little robots driving around on the sidewalk. Fucking Amazon robots.
Oh yes,
around.
I saw that too,
dude. I had one deliver something to my fucking house. I was like, we're already here. Like this, we're already living to where they're gonna have these fucking things driving around. But it'll be here before we know it. We'll see a fucking actual fucking robot walking down the street, like a patrol or something like that. We don't know. I mean, we really don't know what the fuck we're gonna do with. But that was fucking crazy to see. I never would have thought that type of shit would be happening. And you see all these little ones driving around. Like I saw like 3 or 4. I'm like, I'll be fucking damned.
Did you see the controllers, the people controlling them?
Yes.
Did they look like they were like high schoolers?
They look like
high schoolers, and they look like it reminded me of when I had a paper route when I was a kid, and that was my first job.
Yeah,
I almost feel like, hey, this is your first job. Instead of having to deliver papers, just remote control.
So
dude,
like you deliver the fucking packages and all that.
Yeah, I mean, so you're replacing the pacifier with something else. So the pacifier being the Xbox controller, and then you're just putting in the Amazon controller.
Oh, dude, I know, man. It is interesting. It's cool, but man, dude, we're living it. We're living in the future now, dude, and we're closer than what we think with all this stuff that we talked about here on the podcast. But I mean, as this keeps going, I mean, we're gonna keep feeding it to the lovely people and just discuss all this stuff as all this evolves before our very own eyes, and as we enter this whole thing, and then you'll see, or your boys here in the fucking metaverse, so it'll be
I'm gonna look like Ryan Reynolds and Blade,
just shredded
so I'll just never wear a shirt.
Why is Brad always not wearing a shirt? Why is he always shirtless? I mean, hey, you gotta talk to him. That's his character in the metaverse. Fuck it. That's how he feels comfortable. Why not? Right?
Those have they'll have fox heads, but they'll have like women bodies, and then they'll just be like running their paws. Oh, they have to have paws though, fox paws. They'll just run their paws all over me. I'm gonna have fun in the metaverse, bro.
I know you would. I know you will. I know you will. You do have some fucking pretty crazy ideas, so I wouldn't put it past it. I'll tell you that. Man.
A fox is like half cat, half dog anyway. So
that's true. That is true. But I mean, we'll end it off on that note. I mean, I feel like we've touched a few very interesting topics, as always, and we'll definitely keep on trying to see what happens from here on to the next episode. But with that being said, of course, go catch all our past previous episodes wherever you stream your favorite podcasts, hopefully us being one of them. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn FM Radio, all that good stuff. Just to make it easy, follow us on Instagram at the Bush Podcast, where you can just be provided with the link in our bio, and also check out the latest posts that we post up in regards to the new episodes with preview clips for the next new ones that come out and other crazy stuff. I know we're close to Christmas. We're close to the New Year's, so we're going to try to end it off with a bang. And again, we just want to thank everybody that's been listening to us so far. We love you guys and gals, everybody from across the pond over there to Germany, Belgium, all those cool places. But yeah, this is us from us to you. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Happy Friday. Take care. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Woo! There it is. All right, I gotta let these guys unduct tape them.